Mr. Roger Lanctot is from Strategy Analytics, and you were talking about the battle for the dashboard in the car. So who's battling for that space?
So obviously Apple and Alphabet want a piece of that action because it's a very misunderstood space. It's the one area where when we try to do audience measurement so we can sell advertising to support the industry, there's no good data on what is happening in the car, and the car represents at least 50% of radio listening. So it's a very important battleground, and car makers want to control that.
And I'm sure it's pretty difficult because I know from my friends it's such a mixed match, whether they're listening to Sirius Radio or they're plugging in their iPhone through their auxiliary cable or connected their iPhone through Bluetooth. There are loads of different ways people are listening to radio now or audio in their car.
Well, it's even more important than that because I like to say the car is a browser, okay? So think about Google. They have nearly $100 billion in revenue from the advertising related to your search activity online or over your mobile device. They have no visibility to what you're doing in the car, and everything you do in the car is an indication of your intent to go somewhere and do something, and you're strapped in, you're a captive audience, and it may be the last opportunity to influence your commercial behavior, your transactional activity. So it's a very powerful advertising environment.
So with so many different ways now to consume audio in the car, are car manufacturers scratching their head wondering what are we actually going to put there in the dashboard?
So, well, you see here the latest from Audi, which is a groundbreaking platform, hybrid radio. When you're within range of the station you want to hear, you'll get it over FM or DAB+.
So it will automatically switch to whichever signal is better.
It will switch to the IP stream if you move out of range. And and you have two displays in the vehicle, which is increasingly common, but we're also going to see very large 24-inch QLED and OLED displays, flexible displays. So the car makers have not just thrown it over the fence to Apple and Alphabet, although their influence has been significant because both of those companies now have certification control. So you can't, if you're going to introduce a head unit today with CarPlay and Android Auto, which are sort of checkoff items for most car makers, it has to go through Apple and Alphabet. They have to certify that you've met all their requirements for rendering the images in the vehicle properly, font sizes and icons. So car makers are putting up with that, but they have not surrendered their own HMI, their own customer engagement platform.
Okay, so it's interesting times ahead.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of money and a lot of eyeballs and a lot of customers at stake.
Roger, great talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.